soul of the Cayman Islands.
And now, Radio Cayman presents The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. Here's your host, Anita.
Good morning. It's 29 minutes until 8 o'clock. This is the Business Buzz. Good morning to one and all, wherever you are this morning, wherever you're joining us, whether you're joining us via the airwaves or YouTube. Good morning. This morning, we bring you two segments. On this first segment, we'll be hearing from Total Health. Following the 8 o'clock news, the weather and traffic reports will be joined by representatives from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. Total Health in the Cayman Islands is a one-stop destination for patients who are seeking comprehensive and personalized health care under one roof. Total Health is poised to transform the perception of preventative care here in the Cayman Islands. How is Total Health achieving this? Through advanced technology, improved access, and personalized care that they provide. Quality service that is also affordable. And joining us in the studio to discuss diabetes and weight loss, we have Karan Dave. Karan is no stranger to the Business Buzz. He's a director of Total Health. Good morning, Karan.
Good morning, Anita.
How are you?
I'm very well. Good to have us here.
Oh, you're very welcome. Anytime. And joining Karan, we have Dr. Kumar. He's a diabetes specialist over at Total Health. Dr. Kumar, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm doing good, ma'am. And thanks for inviting us.
You're very welcome. Dr. Kumar, we know all about Karan. We heard about him the last time. We want to hear about you this time. Tell us a little about yourself, what you do, how you became a doctor even.
Oh, good. It's a good question. It's a very long question that I can answer.
You can put it in a nutshell,
but
right?
in a nutshell, I'm the lone doctor from my whole family. And I was fully motivated by mother especially. And I won't say that it's by chance. It's an intentional thing. I did hard work to get selected in the field, and then I excel in the field. I like the medical field because I hate blood.
You hate blood.
Though I do interventions, but I'm not much interested in the surgical field. I'm basically specialized in internal medicine and diabetology. I'm looking after many metabolic diseases. I graduated in 2003. Thereafter, I did my first post-graduation in critical care, followed by I did my second post-graduation in internal medicine. After that, I did my fellowship in diabetology and metabolic diseases. And now I'm in Cayman Island to serve the people of Cayman.
Welcome. Glad to have you here. Now, we're looking at, like I said earlier, the topic today is diabetes and weight loss. Now, how is someone, just going right into this because we only have a short amount of time, how is someone diagnosed with diabetes and obesity?
Okay, just to let you know, these two are different diseases, but they are interlinked. I will let you know later on how they are interlinked. Okay. Regarding the definition of diabetes, there are few exact ADA. ADA is the American Diabetic Association, which has defined it well. Anybody who has got fasting blood sugar, who has done a fasting of roughly 10 hours, is around 126 and above is diagnosed to have diabetes. There are other parameters too, like HbA1c of more than 6.5, post-prandial sugar, that means after 2 hours of taking 75 grams of glucose is 200, or sometimes even in random cases also, if the sugar is 200 and the patient has symptoms of diabetes, we can strongly doubt that the patient has diabetes. So in these four criteria, if the patient match, we can declare patient as to be a case of diabetes. Regarding the obesity, the protocol is a little bit different. There we consider something called body mass index, which is nothing but body upon height. There is a formula for that. And in that, we consider a normal person who has, normal weight is 18.5 to 24.99 is called normal body mass index. Anybody who is above that means 25 to 29.99, he is considered as overweight. Anybody above 30 of BMI is definitely an obese, and further it is classified into obesity category 1, 2 and morbid obesity respectively.
Okay. Wow, got me thinking here. Got to run off to the gym.
There are few digital
Too many
values. Too many numbers. Yes.
I wrote them down nevertheless. Sure. What it'll mean to me in another half an hour, I'm not sure. But here in the Caribbean, we have, I'm not sure if I should say this, but we do have lots of people who are diabetic. My parents, my dad was diabetic, you know. How common are these lifestyle diseases among the Caribbean countries, Dr. Kumar?
See, ma'am, I will say it is unfortunate, but Caribbean population itself is among the top 4 population who are suffering with diabetes and obesity at the moment. The other 3 populations are Hispanics, Indians, and up to certain moment they are basically the African population also, some portions of the Africa. So in Caribbean, if I give you the exact figure, documented by WHO, which is the top organization here which do research in this field, they have given a rough estimate of roughly around every 1 out of 4 people here are either diabetic or they are going to develop diabetes sooner. In the obesity, the scenario is more worse. Every 1 out of 3 is a known case of either overweight or confirmed obesity. Why these two diseases are always, talked about side by side? Because they are strongly linked together. If somebody has got obesity, roughly you can imagine he has 70% more chances to develop diabetes, especially the type 2 diabetes in coming time. So that means if we can hit obesity in the early stage, we can unintentionally, we are treating the diabetes also, we are preventing the diabetes also, and later on we are avoiding the complications of diabetes as such. But the incidence is pretty common, but this figure is given by WHO. But I'm telling you, in my practice, I have seen the figure is much, much higher than this, which is a little bit scary, but it's the fact.
Wow. No, what are some of the predisposing factors that might cause these? You call it a lifestyle disease?
Yes, we call it lifestyle. The basic reason of calling these diseases lifestyle disease because they are linked with lifestyle. For example, as you asked, what are the predisposing factors? Most important predisposing factors is your eating habits. Nowadays, especially your child cry, what is the first step? What do you do? Give
Are you
them
hungry?
Yes, you just give them a piece of chocolate or piece of something which is full of sugar.
Take them to Wendy's and get some chicken nuggets.
Always.
I won't say any name of any people, but again, it's fast food. Fast food is a big culprit. Okay, so this is one. Second, nowadays people are too much stressed. Just think about your lifestyle. What is the difference between your lifestyle and your parental lifestyle? My father used to come back from the office at 5 p.m. in the evening, and there was no calls from the office, nothing. There was no telephone, nothing. By 7, 8, we used to sleep nicely, and next day again morning. So cycle was fixed like this. Now my life cycle is, I wake up in the morning, then I have to go to office, then I have to call all the attendants. I'm talking about all the professions. And this scenario is more worse, especially professions like lawyer, accountants. It's unfortunate, but they are very busy people, and I've seen these stress is too much in their life. So second is the stress. Third is inadequate exercise. Nowadays, you are just leaving your home, come back to office, sit, go, and again sit. Okay. So technically, lack of exercise. Then ethnicity itself, like people who are from certain specific ethnicity. As I told, Indians, Caribbean, Hispanics, they are always more prone for any kind of lifestyle disease, especially diabetes and obesity. Other associated problems, like suppose you yourself are suffering with obesity, getting diabetes is more common in you. Family history, very important. As I told you that, as you told me that your father is suffering with diabetes at early age, that means there is high chance that you may develop the same problem but earlier than your father age of onset.
But it's preventative care.
Yes. So here comes our role at what we are serving at Total Health, that if we can prevent these lifestyle diseases, we can avoid not only the disease onset but also the complications. So overall, we are adding on numbers or years in your life, and which is free of any kind of medical problems. But again, it's not 100% true, because your approach is also important, how much you are following the advice from the doctor side.
So I guess this is where we see where diabetes and obesity are linked.
They are linked. The most common mechanism which has been explained by different authorities, the academic authorities, in obesity, what happens, there is a concept called insulin resistance. Most of the people know about this, but they don't know the details of this. What is insulin resistance? In this, what happens, because of the XYZ reason, especially like obesity and all, there is insulin in your body, but this insulin is not able to perform its job. That means if I check your insulin level, it's high, in fact higher than the normal, but it is not able to mobilize the sugar from the blood to the peripheral tissue or the muscles. That means all the time the sugar is raised in your blood. That is called diabetes. So that is the reason, if we somehow decrease the insulin resistance, that is the obesity, we find that the incidence of diabetes progression goes much, much lower.
All right. Now, Dr. Kumar, what can be done to prevent these lifestyle diseases? Now, we already know, but there's something maybe you have outside the box.
Yes.
That you can tell us about.
If you go in details of the preventative disease, there is something called primordial prevention, which is something before the prevention. So first of all, I request all the parents on the island who has got young kids, please try to modify their habit. Don't just decrease their easy accessibility towards the toffees and chocolates and all the sugary things, because you may be helping yourself because you are busy in your job, you want to calm down your kid, that's fine. But you should realize that these sugar things, rather making them calm down for short term, they make the child more aggressive. The reason is, the moment they check chocolate or anything sugary, at that time they may feel calm because of the sweet taste, but after some time body releases excessive insulin because of that sugar, and it further lead down to decrement in the sugar level, and that makes the kid more craved towards the chocolate. You can just go back to your normal life and you can see your child, if you don't give them toffee on second or third day, you've given it for the first day to calm him down. If you don't give him the same kid second or third day toffee, they become very aggressive.
I like how you pick on toffee, Dr. Kumar.
Yes.
Sugar rush.
So this you have to understand that primordial prevention is the best way of preventing the disease. Now, for us, because we have already passed the kids' age, so for us, this preventive care comes. For preventive care, what we can do? First of all, avoid excessive sugar. So there is something called concept of intermittent fasting. If you can do, fine. If you can't do, like you are too busy and all, in that case, I will suggest not to eat until you are hungry. And always, it's an advisable thing that you should eat roughly around 80 to 90% of your hunger. So how to decide this, that this diet is adequate? When you finish your diet, your meal at that time, suppose I'm taking my breakfast at 8 in the morning, I should feel a little bit of hunger in my tummy. I should not eat all the time so that my tummy is totally distended, I'm full, which is normal thing which is going on. Like I come from the office, I eat like anything and then sleep. These are very wrong practice. So just to avoid overeating is a basic phenomenon here, which you can do to avoid excessive calories. Second, quality of food. In quality of food, I will suggest you to avoid carbs and saturated fat. Okay, it doesn't mean that you have to avoid 100%. Try to limit them up. Second thing is, as I told you, that regarding the intermittent fasting, there are many ways of doing intermittent fasting. The best way of doing intermittent fasting, which has been clinically proven best, is to have 2 meals in a day, 8 hours apart, and rest of the time give rest to the tummy. You can drink anything which has got no calorie, no fizz, like lemon water, plain water. If you are not satisfied, you can go with the protein shakes, that's fine. But try to have 2 meals, and that also 80% of your appetite, 8 hours apart. That will give you a perfect combination of the diet. that should be taken care of about the nutrition value, like multivitamins, protein, etc. That is out, but again, this is important here. Thirdly, de-stress yourself, which is very important. I know it's not 100% easy for everybody because most of the people are professional here, but it's a message that try to de-stress, try to draw a line between your work and your personal life. If you are not able to de-stress yourself every day, at least do once in a week so that your cortisol level in the blood goes down and next day again you feel more energetic to perform your work. And most of the times, other than exercise, diet, exercise is very important here because exercise documentation, which normally we skip out of normal life, is roughly around 150-minute documented a week we should do. It is at least. This exercise activity does not consider the hour in which you take rest between the exercise spells. No, I'm talking about complete 150 minutes of activity. You decide what activity you want to do, but it should be a physical activity. So these are the preventative things which you can do and can be done by everybody, because rest all are things like race, ethnicity. These are non-modifiable. You can't modify yourself anymore. And lastly, which is very important, stop smoking. If possible, at least control it, okay? Because again, this is an additional factor. Alcohol, again, these two are something which is very freely available in the society, but unfortunately they add on the causation of these two diseases.
Dr. Kumar, we produce rum in the Caribbean. At this point, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be speaking with, continue our discussion with Dr. Kumar. He's a diabetes specialist over at Total Health. And we have Karan Dave. Karan is the director of Total Health. Thanks to our sponsor this morning, Cayman Insurance Center.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
John Theophilus Bodden, 1883 to 1969. Certificate of Honor.
Theophilus Bodden served the District of East End with distinction for many years. Several times he was elected as a vestryman. He was an ordained elder of the East End Adventist Church, which he served for 53 years. He was married to Claudina Nee Jackson, with whom he had 4 children. He was a seaman and later a farmer and fisherman. While sailing on the United States ships, he was shipwrecked twice. The first time, the men were with the ship for 16 days before being rescued. The second time, they were adrift in a life raft for 12 days. Mr. Bodden touched the lives of many people in the Cayman Islands.
Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue new policies or increases when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call the insurance professionals at Cayman Insurance Center 949-4657 or email info@cic.com.ky. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Cayman Insurance Center's insurance professionals today at 949-4657.
Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. Good morning. If you're just joining us, thank you so much for doing so. We're speaking with Dr. Kumar. He's a diabetes specialist over at Total Health. And alongside him, we have Mr. Karan Dave. Karan is the director at Total Health. Dr. Kumar, this is a discussion that we can continue for another 6 hours or more.
20 hours. I'm going to go because I have to take a sleep for 4 hours there.
We need to de-stress, right? Now, any newer modality, if that's what you call it, to treat diabetes and obesity?
Yeah. So right now, the science is evolving day by day. We have got many newer modalities coming in the market. So as I told you in the beginning that obesity is one of the major culprits who calls its sister called diabetes sooner or later. So if we correct obesity or we prevent obesity in the beginning, there's a high chance that we can prevent diabetes in future also. So there are many ways. Since being a human beings, we are in this weight loss thing since 1960s. Many medication has been tried. But nowadays, there is a new separate group of medications. We call it GLP-1 analogs, which is in the market. And it's not very new. It's there in the market for roughly around 5 years or so. But its success is till now one of the best in the category of the weight loss medications. So what we have done at Total Health, we have started a program. Now it's not a new program. I'm following this program for last 18 months or so with a very high success rate. We have integrated fewer new medications in our program because our program is balanced between regular follow-ups, all the blood checkups, the doctor's consultations, nutritional advice, exercise advice, and the newer medication. So the newer medication which I was talking about is GLP-1 analog. Many medications are available like exenatide, semaglutide, liraglutide. These are the salt names available in the market. But out of them, which is one of the medication which is right now top popular in the market is semaglutide. It is available in the market with two most leading brands with the name of one of them is Wegovy and the other brand is Ozempic. These are the two leading brands. Otherwise, the salt is same, that is semaglutide. So we are here basically, we are discussing semaglutide only. So semaglutide is available in both oral and injectable form. But in my experience, injectable has better compliance, better results because it comes in injectable form. But believe me, it's painless injection. It's a hypodermic needle. And using it is very patient friendly and once a week dose. Everything is explained while the program regarding the medication, and it is also integrated with that what are the do's, don'ts. Most commonly, what people are more bothered about any newer medication is the side effects. So if you go with the side effects mentioned over many portals, there are too long list of side effects, but practically, what I have seen, what I have discussed with my colleagues back in US, Canada, major side effects, there is none of the major side effects. So roughly I can tell you that 85%, so roughly I have got roughly around 400 plus patients who are under me for weight loss program. And some of them are on this medication, some are without the medication. But regarding the medication experience, I'm talking about the semaglutide. My experience is good. So 85% people roughly who are on this medication, they have never called me back because of any side effects. 15% has told me that they felt some side effect, but most of them I didn't have to give something. So none of them has stopped the medication because of the side effects. So it's a very, very big thing. Second thing is regarding the complication you come across, like thyroid disorders, ovarian problems, and pancreatitis. So what we do to counteract those kind of things, because we don't want to suffer with any side effects which is mentioned by the company or the manufacturers, etc., we do regular blood checkups, and the panel of tests is decided by the doctor depending on the patient's age, sex, and whatever, height, weight, whatever. The test varies from person to person. Most of the basic test is the same, but it need to be performed because the doctor has to have vigilance. He has to take care of if something is going wrong, he can manipulate the dose or may ask to stop the dose also. So these steps are very important in the weight loss program. I'm talking about the pharmacological part. Rest, non-pharmacological part like nutrition, etc., they are again integrated part. But here medication side effects is something which people are really scared of. So that goes on the clinician. That goes in my program on me. So I take care of those patients. I call them regularly, go with the blood test and all, and everything goes. When I'm confident that there's nothing wrong going on, then I ask them to continue the medication for suppose 3 months or 4 months without visiting me. But that will depend on the time of the advice. And two most common questions which people ask me regarding the program, that what is the chance that we will regain the weight after I stop the medication? Technically, theoretically, whatever you have lost, you have lost. Okay, because there is a big gap. Right. But practically, you may gain something, because remember one thing: medication is a part of program. Program is not a part of medication. Okay, so we try to modify the whole lifestyle, because a normal person needs roughly around 3 to 4 months to change its lifestyle of food habit, exercise, etc. So we just take a safe margin of roughly 2 more months, and we run this program for 6 months. Then at the end of 6 months, we ask the patient, if you are happy, satisfied, want to stop the medication, you can stop the medication. We do a panel test, declare everything is fine, there is nothing wrong with respect to your baseline levels, and you can stop the thing. Now, if somebody say, no, I want to continue for some more time, I'm not confident whether I will be able to continue my same lifestyle. In that case, again, you and the patient and the doctor decide, okay, ma'am, we can continue for some more time, and we follow the protocol according to that. Safety wise, medication is good, and my experience overall with this medication is excellent till now.
Okay, so if I'm not just suppose I'm not a diabetic, can I take the semaglutides?
Yes, so it's a very interesting question. People are really confused about that. It's a totally diabetes medication. To answer your question, I will go in a little bit in the history. It was first manufactured as an anti-diabetic medication because it belongs to a category of GLP-1 analog, that is glucagon-like peptide 1 analog. So in that category, and that category was basically an anti-diabetic medication. Later on, when we were using this group, this medications from this group like exenatide and liraglutide, we realized that this semaglutide has a very good sugar control, but again, this is not a first line drug, it's a second line drug. But along with that, it is also controlling the weight in a very nice manner. So later on, we realized that when we use it for only obesity without any diabetes, so it's showing very good results, and sugar variation is not too low here. So just to let you know that these medications is having approved by FDA, the peak body, for weight loss only. Plus, if you are using in diabetes, that is additional point. So answer to your question, can we use it without a known case of diabetes? Yes, it has been approved by FDA can be used in obesity without having underlying diabetes. But to let you know that every obese person, if he is not confirmed diabetes, he must be, or maybe he be underlying pre-diabetes must be there. So it has got dual advantage that it's controlling your weight also, and it's also preventing you to develop diabetes in coming future.
Okay, doctor. Oh, we're almost out of time. I got a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
What is you mentioned side effects? Can you just let us know some of those side effects?
So common side effects which I have seen in my practice is basically GI side effects, gastrointestinal side effects. So as I told, 80% people don't complain at all. Some people complain of nausea, vomiting, indigestion, constipation, and that also is treatable. So in none of them, I have to stop the medication because of the side effects. So in that case, if somebody complains that I have got severe side effects, in that case only we give them some symptomatic medication. Otherwise, 85-90% is not required at all.
Dr. Kumar, thank you so much for this wonderful information this morning. Very, 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 very important for us. And we'd love to have you back in the studio. But in the meantime, good luck with your patients, and thank you so much. Anything you'd like to leave with our listeners?
So, preventive health is something which is very important to be dealt with. It is something which you have to treat or avoid. If you want to avoid the disease, better go with the preventive health. So what we are doing at our institution at Total Health, that we are basically avoiding these kind of problems, so that we are offering different programs to the people, not only the weight loss program, but I'm talking about other programs too, in which we diagnose people at different age, at early stage, and we give them certain advices, if possible, if required, medications also, so they can use it to avoid these lifestyle diseases, and so that they should not suffer with the complications. Life is really precious, so everybody should understand that prevention is better than cure.
That's right. Prevention is better than cure. And on that note, we're going to take it to Susan for time check, news, weather, and the traffic, and we'll be back with the police after that.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The budget for Cayman's aging subsea submarine cable continues to be poached. There were two funding issues dealt with at the September 5th cabinet meeting. First, they pulled an additional $50,000 from the submarine cable budget. Since May, more than $4.5 million has been siphoned off from the budget item by cabinet and redistributed elsewhere. This newest $50,000 reduction is being shifted to the Ministry of Education. Cabinet also gave the green light for a $4 million appropriation for TP30, which covers local and overseas scholarships and bursaries. Otherwise, the meeting agenda was relatively brief, with Cabinet approving the lease of premises for the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service's Georgetown Police Station, followed by the review of 2022 annual reports for the Tourism Attraction Board and Cayman Airways Limited. The group then noted several reports from the Economics and Statistics Office, including the 2022 Third Quarter Economic Report, Foreign Trade Statistics Report, Semi-Annual Economic Report, Annual Economic Report, the Compendium of Statistics, and the Quarterly Trade Statistics Bulletin, January to March of this year. Also for 2023, Cabinet reviewed the Labor Force Survey Report for the spring and the Consumer Price Index Report for April to June. Those reports should be published on the ESO.ky website in the coming weeks. You can find the full meeting summary online at gov.ky. A strong condemnation after an attack at John Gray High School. Snippets there from a video alleging to show the incident, prompting the Department of Education Services to stress that its top priority is the safety and well-being of Cayman students. DES Director Mark Ray says his department is taking, quote, swift and decisive action in response to this unfortunate incident. The victim immediately received medical attention, and the attackers were apprehended by police and taken into custody. The school has also decided to temporarily suspend them. In other news, planning permission is granted for a reverse osmosis plant near Camana Bay. The subject property is located in Georgetown between the Esterly-Tibbetts Highway and West Bay Road, just west of Camana Bay. The proposal is for a 320-square-foot reverse osmosis plant that will be housed in a 40-foot container. The authority had to determine if the subject property was a suitable location, noting that there is already a chiller plant located on the property. Other notable approvals: conditional planning permission was granted for the construction of 8 apartments on Lily Dawn Close in Boddentown, facing no public objections. The green light was also given for an uncontested 2-lot subdivision on Oswald Drive in West Bay. Conditional planning was given for an application for 5 townhouses, a cabana, and pool on Annie Agnes Close in West Bay as well. You can find the full summary along with all the board's decisions online at planning.ky. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Julie Candler. Several countries have sent rescue workers to Libya to support the search for survivors of the floods that devastated the city of Derna on Sunday. The World Meteorological Organization said many deaths could have been avoided if there had been reliable weather forecasts. Explosions in the Russian-occupied Crimean Peninsula are reported to have destroyed a Russian air defense system. Russian officials have not spoken of any damage, but say 11 Ukrainian drones were shot down over Crimea. The Kremlin has confirmed that President Putin has accepted an invitation to visit North Korea. It comes a day after he hosted Kim Jong-un in Russia's Far East. A court in Bangladesh has sentenced 2 human rights campaigners to 2 years in prison after finding them guilty of spreading false information. The rights group Odihar had published a report on violence during a protest by hardline Islamists in Dhaka a decade ago. 10 school children are missing in the Indian state of Bihar after a boat carrying a group of students capsized. Officials said 20 children had been rescued. 2 military officers have been executed in Saudi Arabia on treason charges. Their offences included not protecting the national interest and military honour. More than 6,000 migrants have arrived on the Italian island of Lampedusa within 2 days. The authorities have declared a state of emergency. The only candidate to have declared he's standing for next year's presidential election, Egypt, says his team faces intensifying harassment by the security forces. Ahmed al-Tantawi said many of his supporters have been detained. BBC News with Julie Candler.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com. Are you tired of waiting in long lines at the pharmacy just to fill a prescription?
If what, child, let me tell you.
Well, now you can save time and money with ValueMed's online prescription service. Visit ValueMed's new website, valrx.com, and click the Refill Subscriptions button. Fill in your information and choose your preferred pickup location. Or email your prescription refills for ValueMed Walkers Road at rx-wr@valrx.com, and for ValueMed in Boddentown, email rx-bt at valrx.com. Say goodbye to the hassle of waiting in lines and hello to the convenience of online prescriptions with ValueMed Pharmacy. Visit valrx.com to place your orders today.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store, or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
The Business Buzz. Each and every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m. Brought to you by
Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report, brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 87 degrees. Relative humidity is 77%. The barometric pressure is 29.86 inches and rising. The wind is out of the north at 4 knots. Overnight low temperature was 85 degrees. Synopsis indicate light northeast winds and seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as Hurricane Lee moves north over the western Atlantic Ocean west of Bermuda. Radar images show isolated showers in the Cayman area moving towards the southwest. The National Hurricane Center is issuing advisories on Hurricane Lee and Hurricane Margot, which at last check, Hurricane Lee was located 295 miles southwest of Bermuda and moving towards the north at 9 miles per hour. Hurricane Margot weakens as it moves northeast over the central Atlantic Ocean. These systems pose no threat to the Cayman Islands. However, their progress will continue to be monitored by the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. If you need additional information, you can always log on to www.nhc.noaa.gov. The forecast for the Cayman Islands for today and tonight, calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures today will be in the low 90s and will fall to the low 80s tonight. Winds will be northeast at 5 to 10 knots for today and tonight, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Today's high tide will be this morning at 8:58, low tide this afternoon at 3, and a high tide again tonight at 3 minutes after 9. The sun will set this evening at 6:27 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:14. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Saturday morning.
Mr. Campbell, we have your test results. Do you want the good news or the bad news first?
Good news. No, wait, bad news. Give it to me straight, doctor.
Your blood work came back. You've got erythrocytes all over.
Oh no, this can't be happening.
Here's the good news. That just means red blood cells. It's a good thing. You're completely fine.
With 99% of medical claims paid in 5 days, we're like a doctor who doesn't want to be a comedian. CG Brit-K. Good like that.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Brit-K, where people come first.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking, change your life. Developing your emotional awareness can have profound effects on your life.
As Daniel Goleman said in his book entitled Emotional Intelligence, people who cannot marshal some control over their emotional life fight inner battles that sabotage their ability for focused work and clear thought, whereas people with well-developed emotional skills are more likely to be content and effective in their lives, mastering the habits of mind that foster their own productivity.
Change your thinking, change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning. Let's take a look at traffic. Traffic coming from the east on Shamrock Road is congested. As you approach the Linford Pearson Highway, traffic is moving on steadily. Some sections a little busier traffic. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, traffic is steady as well. off of the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way. There was a two-vehicle accident further up on Shamrock Road, maybe adding to some of the traffic delay this morning, so be aware of that. Coming off of the Esteli Tibbetts Highway, traffic is steady, heading towards the Butterfield Roundabout. And the Industrial Park area, traffic is moving on moderately in both directions. And on North Sound Road, in steady traffic in both directions. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue flowing moderately. On the Westway Road in front of Ritz, traffic is flowing at a good pace in both directions. And Owen Roberts Drive, no issues there as traffic is light to moderate. Crew Road heading to Georgetown, steady traffic. Heading east and Crew Road, traffic is moving on pretty good. Huldah Avenue, steady traffic. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report.
It's game time, Subway fans. We're upping our sub game with the all-new Subway Series menu, an all-star lineup of 6 delicious recipes. Just order by name or number and we'll do the rest. Whether you're catching a quick lunch or just need a tasty victory, the Subway Series menu is coming in clutch. Subway Series, easy to order, hard to resist. Try it today, only at Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Upgrade your connection with Digicell's all-new postpaid plans. Experience the freedom of endless local calls, more any-use data to browse, entertainment data for Netflix, Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok, and endless social data for WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. That's not all. Stay connected when you travel with roaming data for the USA, Canada, and the Caribbean, and make calls while abroad with more international minutes than ever before. Stay connected on the fastest, most reliable network. Make the switch today. Digicel, better connected.
Family Resource Center is offering several parenting and family programs to enrich the lives of families in the Cayman Islands, supporting them in reaching their family goals, including the Triple P Family Transitions Group. Families experiencing separation or divorce are advised to participate in this program in support of their family's well-being. To register for this or their other services, contact them at frc@gov.ky or find the links posted on their Instagram and Facebook pages.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
17 and a half after 8 o'clock. Good morning and welcome back to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. This is our second and final segment for this Thursday morning, Thursday, September 14th. Thank you so much for joining us. We'd like to welcome to the studio this morning the RCIPS, but let me say first, being a police officer means you'll serve your local community, you'll protect the public, right, Susan? Good morning, Susan. I forgot to say good morning. You'll prevent crime as a police officer, and you'll provide support to victims. It's a very varied, challenging, but a very rewarding job with upward mobility. So, do you have what it takes? Well, listen up, because in this segment, we'll touch on the RCIPS's local recruitment drive, what is required, how to apply, and the benefits of being a police officer with the RCIPS. Our guest in the studio this morning, none other than the wonderful Miss Julianne. I feel like I need some drum roll or something here. The police media officer in the Media and Communications Unit, MCU, of the RCIPS. And joining her for the first time in the studio this morning is Ms. Tara O'Carroll, and she's the HR manager with the RCIPS. And joining us by telephone, it's Ms. Vanessa Scott Banks. Vanessa is the Human Resource Officer, and she's stationed in Cayman Brac. Good morning, Vanessa, first of all.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you. Just making sure you're with us. Okay. All right. Let's say good morning to Tara and Julianne. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Okay. Now, let's talk about a little bit about the upcoming Police Safety Career Fair. When this is taking place, where, and what time?
Absolutely. So Tara here. So yeah, we have the Public Safety Recruitment Fair, and that is it's hosted by the Ministry of Home Affairs, It's actually next Friday, the 22nd of September. So get that in your calendar if you have any interest. And that will be at the University College of Cayman Islands, so UCCI. The actual hall that it will be in will be Sir Vassal Johnson Multipurpose Hall, and it'll be taking place from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay. 30 a.m. to 4 p.m. No, everywhere I go, at any career fair, the RCIPS is repping.
Yes.
They're always there.
Yes.
And you're there most of the time, Jodianne?
Yes, usually. I try to be.
Vanessa, we're not going to leave you out of this conversation, all right?
Okay.
So, Vanessa, are you going to be in Grand Cayman for that public safety career fair?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Now, the RCIPS, the police officers and civilian staff, like I just mentioned, you're at career fairs, you're speaking with young people about careers in law enforcement. Now, do any of these outreach efforts, I would say, yield any benefits for the department?
Absolutely. It's always a good opportunity for us to be out there and share what we do and give the public a better understanding of the concept of policing in a real sense and not just what they see on TV. But it's also good to highlight some of the other not as, out there tasks that we also do, like the HR and the finance and some of our behind the scenes units like
analysis,
right, and the digital forensics and that kind of stuff. So we like to highlight those things. We like to talk about it because we don't want persons to kind of put us in a box that really doesn't exist when it comes to the police, because we have the capacity to do very many things.
Okay. Now, Tara, you're new to this job, right?
I sure am. Yeah, I can give a brief introduction on myself. So I'm 7 months with the Office of Commissioner of Police. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm Irish. And
we can tell.
You can tell. So, yeah, no, I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. And I'm a human resource manager. I was actually working in tech myself for over 7 years, and 5 of those years was with Google. So I've moved, I suppose, again, to shine a light. I'm an example of someone that was working in the private sector, and I've moved public. And yeah, it's been an amazing experience. So yeah, we're really excited to, I suppose that's at the heart of what we're here today, is to really, I suppose, showcase that there is no glass ceiling, like anyone can join RCIPS, or the Office of Commissioner of Police, and we have loads of roles that we're going to, I suppose, discuss throughout this session today.
Okay, what are some of the, should I say, vacancies that are available within the RCIPS?
Vanessa, you want to take on that question?
Yes. So right now there are no vacancies, but we do have upcoming campaigns over the next few months, such as administrative secretary and special constables. And we actually just wrapped up our local recruitment campaign for recruit constables, and we've just onboarded 22 actually, that started on the 1st of August. So it was amazing, and to see young Caymanians coming into the service. So again, no vacancies at this time, but just stay tuned, monitor our social media, our website, and the careers portal for those vacancies.
Okay, thank you, Vanessa. Now, tell us about the type of skills needed or skill sets needed for the job of a police officer, or even some of the other positions.
So, first of all, police officers are expected to be physically fit. And so when you apply, the first stage is the application stage, where you would fill out your application. And one of the things over the years being involved with recruitment and also just the process is I encourage everyone to make sure that they fill out their applications truthfully, because you are applying to the police. We already know the answers that we're asking you. most of the time. So, once you go through that application stage and you've passed that application stage, then you move on to a fitness exam. And it's a stage-by-stage process. So as you move on, you would have to pass one stage in order to make it to the next stage. And I think it's something like a 6-stage process, ladies. So it's the fitness exam, then a written exam, and then you have to do a interview process. You'll have to also do a medical screening. And then at which point you'll then be invited to join the recruitment class. But there are certain qualifications that you guys would have to also meet, and I'll have the HR ladies discuss those.
Now, I'm thinking about, police officers. You have to be fast on your feet, fast thinking, able to tolerate a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Have that restraint, know how to resolve issues.
Problem-solving skills.
On the spot.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Usually on the spot, yes.
Yeah. Jody, I think I've asked you. Jody, I've asked you this before.
Yes.
I want to ask you again.
Okay.
How did you get started as with RCIPS?
Well, believe it or not, I was actually interested in teaching, and I was a support assistant at the Savannah Primary School, then Savannah Primary, now Joanna Clark Primary School, for about 2 years, and I quickly realized that was not for me.
Why so? Why not?
I just, I don't think that I had the patience that children needed. And so, and I identified that in myself. I knew that this was not for me. And I was actually in college, and my professor at the time, Dr. White, in a sociology class, was actually also the head of the training department at the time, and he invited me to apply. And that's how I managed to apply, and I've the rest is history.
You've never looked back.
No. What day is it? It's the 14th. Today is actually my 12th year as a police officer. Yes.
RCIPS? Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
12 years and going strong.
12? 14. Sorry. My bad.
So do you think patience...
Poor calculation.
14?
14,
okay.
yes.
So patience, have you, do you find that you have to have more patience now dealing with adults than you would had to deal with the children in a teaching position?
Yes and no. My role is different. So I don't need to find as much patience with adults as I would need to find with children. Yeah, but I've definitely enjoyed being a police officer. Investigations has always been a passion of mine. Even though I don't work in investigations now, I still assist where I can. I spent most of my policing career in the criminal investigations department. Okay. And that's one of the things that I love the most about policing, is because it's such a dynamic environment that you have the ability not only to for upward mobility, but for lateral mobility as well, and to experience new things.
Okay. Now, Vanessa, you're still with us, right?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Now, in Cayman Brac, so the recruitment drive is in Grand Cayman. How do you normally recruit for Little Cayman, Cayman Brac?
And Little Cayman.
And Little Cayman, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So there's no direct recruitment out of the sister island. So they would have to go through the process in Grand Cayman of training, etc. Okay. And then when the opportunity arises, or based on operational needs, then officers transfer into the sister island.
Okay. Now, is there a deadline to apply?
So, Tara, correct me if I'm wrong, but you'd have to, it would be based on the vacancies.
It's always based on vacancies, and I think that's an important message, because I suppose from a compliance perspective, we have to advertise in the local paper, and there will be, I suppose then we have on our Royal Cayman Islands website, as well as the careers.gov.ky. I can say that again, www.careers.gov.ky. That's where all the positions are posted. Okay. So I suppose this, back in the day, there was a bit more kind of dropping off of applications in-house, but now it does have to be streamlined through that Careers Government website and posting on a local paper for 2 weeks. So definitely keep an eye out, and that's how you'll apply.
Okay. We also now have our LinkedIn operational as well, and so our vacancies will be posted over there as well. RCIPS on LinkedIn. Okay. Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion with RCIPS. In the studio, we have PC Jody-Ann Powery. Joining her in the studio, Ms. Tara O'Carroll. And by phone from Cayman Brac, Vanessa Scott Banks. Thanks to our sponsor this morning, Cayman Insurance Center.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue new policies or increases when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call the insurance professionals at Cayman Insurance Center 949-4657 or email info@cic.com.ky. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Cayman Insurance Center's insurance professionals today at 949-4657.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Tyler Lawson, and I'm proud to serve the Cayman Islands as an officer in the Cayman Islands Regiment. If you're a young person who wants to learn more about jobs like mine and other careers in public safety, come out to the Public Safety Careers Fair on Friday, September 22nd, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the UCCI Multipurpose Hall. Come out to the Public Safety Careers Fair on Friday, September 22nd from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Who knows? You could be our next hero. Learn more at homeaffairs.gov.ky.
According to statistics in the 2022 Cayman Islands Student Drug Use Survey, 23.1% of students reported being bullied in the last 12 months. The Anti-Bullying Schools Regulations 2022, brought forward by the Ministry of Education, aim to prevent bullying in our schools and help schools create a welcoming and safe learning environment for our children. Please encourage your children to report bullying to an educator. Learn more at gov.ky/education.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. If you're just joining us, thank you so much for doing so. If you stay with us, thank you for being a faithful listener and a faithful viewer. In the studio, we have Ms. PC Jody-Ann Powery. Jody-Ann is a police media officer in the Media and Communications Unit, MCU, of the RCIPS. And in the studio also we have Ms. Tara O'Carroll. Am I pronouncing it right, Carl?
You sure are. Tara O'Carroll, that's me.
And she's the HR manager with the RCIPS. And joining us by telephone in Cayman Brac, Ms. Vanessa Scott Banks. Vanessa is a human resource officer. Now, let's talk a little bit about the careers fair that's coming up, and RCIPS will have a presence at the fair. What's the plan, Jody-Ann? You're the woman with the plan.
I don't know if I'm the lady with the plan this time. I'll let the ladies tell us a little bit about what to expect, but I know that definitely we'll be trying to highlight, as mentioned before, just some of the units that are usually in the background, just so that people can get a better understanding of what they do and who they are and how they go about their days and so on like that.
Okay, Tara?
Yeah, so I can chime in here. So just another reminder in case you're only joining now. The Public Safety Careers Fair will be next Friday, the 22nd of September in UCCI from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. So yeah, really the plan of action for the day, which I'm sure people will be interested. We want to take people on a journey. So, and I suppose it isn't targeted just towards any age group. It's welcome to all the public, and I think that's important. So you could be, it could be one of your children and you'd like to bring them along, or one of your teenagers. You could be in university, or you could currently be working yourself and think to yourself, that is something I'd like to learn a bit more. I'm going to pop by. So yeah, we want to take people on a journey, and pretty much what we're doing is we've invited about 8 to 10 different units that will be present throughout the day. So to name a few, but not limited to, we'll have the digital forensics team, finance, HR, our team called MASH, which specialise in social work, and then other teams that specialise in analytics and kind of data and I suppose, different investigations. And we'll have a lot of policing presence as well, so we're planning on bringing props to make it as interactive as possible. So hopefully we'll have our police cars, some of the bikes, Coast Guard will be there as well, so it's important to give them a shout out. Potentially we might have a boat with us. Air operations is another team as well that will be joining. I know they were chatting about they won't be able to bring, I suppose, a helicopter unfortunately, but definitely, a drone, and some of the equipment we use. And we don't want it to be stiff, we want anyone who comes in, it's going to be interactive, it's a nice conversation. We'll be able to kind of give you, I suppose, make the work that what all of our RCIPS does and the Coast Guard come alive. So that's a big focus of the day. I suppose really then explain kind of how to apply. So we'll be there, HR. Our plan is, again, as we mentioned earlier, we don't have any roles open at the moment, but we will be, to have an intake for people that want to express interest. So we'll, take your details and you can advise if there is a team you are looking towards. We're going to keep those on file, and when a role does open, we can, I suppose, promote you how to actually apply then through the careers portal on www.careers.gov.ky. So that's a little bit of a taster of what we're planning for the day. We don't want to give all our tricks away, so you'll just have to come and see us.
Sounds like fun.
It does.
Vanessa, you want to add to that?
Sure. So, primarily, the fair is to expose people to career opportunities with public safety, right? And we want to encourage as much young Caymanians as possible to just come out to the fair and learn about these opportunities. Kind of like myself, I've always wanted to join law enforcement, but I didn't want to be an officer. So when a civilian role popped up, I applied, and, that's how I got into OCP. So it's that kind of stuff that we want to share to these young Caymanians, that it's not just the uniform side of stuff, but to capitalize on the civilian roles, like Tara and I in finance, Jody in media. There's finance, there's fleet and stores. So we just want to, use that opportunity to highlight the civilian staff within OCP.
Okay. Like I said, sounds like fun. And that's September 22nd, that date again?
Yeah, September 22nd. And actually, just, I suppose, to shine a light on as well, it won't be just ourselves there. You'll have 911, work, hazard, the regiment teams, CBC, prison and more. So definitely an exciting, I think, roundtable group of people that you'll be able to get exposure to.
Yes, and for us, it will be the police and the Coast Guard that will be present on the OCP side.
Okay. So it's a public safety careers fair.
Yes.
So I guess you'll have like fire and some of the other...
Firearms, yes, indeed. They'll be joining us as well.
Okay. Now, all right, now for the good stuff. What is required of me to as a police officer, besides having proof of Caymanian citizenship or permanent residency?
Vanessa?
Sure. So there is an age criteria when we're doing our local recruitment campaign, and the age criteria is between 18 and 40 years old. Jody mentioned, being fit. You also have to be computer literate. There is a brief computer assessment as well. And then, there's continuous a vetting process, etc. Once you pass the medical, then there's an invitation to join. The training period is 17 weeks, and then you're deployed, and then there's a 2-year probationary period.
Okay. Now, do you have, what's the educational requirement?
Just a sound educational background, meaning a high school diploma.
Okay.
Basic math and English passes.
Okay, very good. Now, do you need a police clearance for this, or?
Absolutely. Okay. You absolutely do. And that's why it's so important for us to attend these career fairs, especially the ones that are in school, because persons who are interested in becoming police have to be considering this from young, because the decision that you make early on in life may impact, what you want to do and the career path that you'd like to go on later on in life. And so you have to have a clear criminal record. You have to have a driver's license and a good driving record as well. And you also have to pass a vetting, and a vetting is basically a background check that looks at your associations and, you know, the way that you've been living your life basically over the years. And all these things are considered when persons are applying to the police and the Coast Guard.
Of course, you have to show proof of citizenship, right?
Yes, so I think you have to be a permanent resident with rights to work at a minimum.
Okay.
Yes.
Vanessa, you want to add anything else to that? I know we can't see you, but we know you're thinking.
Yeah, so preferences are given to Caymanian, and then also permanent residents or people with RERC, the right to work, yeah.
Okay, very good. Now, give us the ways to obtain the recruitment application forms again, Julianne?
So application forms, it's not an application form anymore. You have to apply online at careers.gov.ky. So you can go directly there and see the different vacancies that are available, or you can visit our website as well, rcips.ky, and it'll give you a link after telling you a little bit about the vacancies that is available. It'll give you a link to careers.gov.ky. Previously, there was a ongoing recruitment process for the local constables, but Vanessa, can you correct me if I'm wrong? That's no longer the case because of the process with careers, right?
Yeah, correct. So that's one of the things we have to reiterate to candidates is that the entire process changed last year. So there's no longer an application form that you fill out. That form used to be completed and then hand delivered or emailed. So that's been redundant, so to speak. So it's only if the vacancy arises, that vacancy is posted on the careers portal. Candidates apply, fill out the application form, and then it's automatically sent to us. So there's no application form. There's nowhere to upload your resume, that sort of thing. So only if the vacancies arise, then you apply.
Actually, we do have a recruitment for local officers, usually at least once a year. So be on the lookout for that, and stay tuned to our social media, especially our LinkedIn, where careers are concerned.
Okay, ladies, we're going to take a quick break. Thanks to our sponsor this morning, Cayman Insurance Center.
The 7:20 a.m. weather report, Monday through Fridays, is proudly sponsored by Flow Business. Flow, making Cayman fiber fast.
Are you ready to celebrate the remarkable achievements and talents of our youth? The Proud of Them Youth Awards is back with new branding. Nominations are open between now and September 29th, 2023 to recognize a young Caymanian between the ages of 10 to 25 years old. 15 youth who have excelled in academics, career, business, sports, culture, and community service will be selected, along with 2 rising stars. Know someone who's making our community proud with a great work ethic or A's in the classroom? Maybe they're a sports star or show exceptional leadership skills. It's time to nominate. Visit www.youthservices.ky/proud of them to submit your nomination today. Together, let's recognize them because we are proud of them.
Remember to discard all fresh fruits and vegetables, meats, all foods in canisters, dented, leaking or rusting cans after they have come in contact with floodwater. Also discard foods that are stored in cardboard boxes, paper foil, cellophane, and cloth, as well as those in open containers and packages.
For more post-hurricane food safety tips, visit DAH website at www.gov.ky/DAH.
We give you honor, praise, adoration and glory.
Radio Cable.
Praise time.
Praise him, praise him. Come and let's praise the Lord. Come and let's praise the Lord. Praise him in the morning and in the evening. Oh, let's praise the Lord.
Praise time in the morning.
Praise him, praise him.
We
weekdays 6 to 6:30 a.m.
Radio Cayman, waking you up.
Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite. Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite.
Praise time.
I know he cares. He'll always be there. Oh, yeah. Praise him, praise him, praise him,
praise time.
Set your clock for 6 a.m. or you will miss it.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecast, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Thank you, PC Julianne Powery, Tara O'Carroll, and Vanessa Scott Banks. Vanessa is on the phone, joining us from Kimberley on the phone. What's the weather like this morning, Vanessa?
Hot.
Well, it's hot here too. So, but hopefully it'll be very nice weather for the fair, public safety fair on the 22nd. I know Tara's excited about that as well as you, Vanessa. Of course, Jody and everybody else, but it's a time you get to go out and showcase your organization.
Yes.
You get to showcase RCIPS.
You know, if you've seen us at a career fair, especially a public safety career fair, I think the last one we had was at Sir Vassal Johnson, and the one before that was actually at the town hall. You'll know that we're very competitive.
No, we didn't know.
We
didn't know.
Yeah,
well,
we're very
know, right,
competitive, but we always want to make sure that our booth is the best one. Because of all the misconception there is with policing, not very many people are excited about policing, so we have to make sure that we have the best booth to attract the people to our booth.
There might be siren lights.
There may be.
Just saying.
Listen, the way to let me give you a little tip on that, okay?
Yes.
I've done career fairs too.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing to have is a fondue pot with some food, with some chocolate, strawberry, and some graham crackers. You'll get a line.
Well, what will happen is that no one will move, and therefore, it'll cause congestion.
That would take me to the fit exam that you have to go through. Is there a test that you have to pass?
Yes, I believe, and the ladies can correct me if I'm wrong. It's the 5.4 bleep test, and you can actually go on YouTube. You can see what it's like. You can practice. It is the fitness exam is very important. That's why it's the second stage. So just make sure that you prepare yourself. If you don't prepare, how do you expect to pass? It's just like a written test. So go on YouTube if you intend on applying. Start doing the 5.4 bleep test, practicing how to do it. It'll only benefit you, because even if there isn't any vacancies soon, or even if you don't pass the rest of stages or whatever the case may be, at least you would have gained some fitness.
Absolutely.
And improved on your health. Yes.
Absolutely agree. Vanessa, anything you want to add to this?
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to say it's easy because I've never done the physical test, and I don't even want to attempt it, but definitely. If you have an interest in becoming accountable, just train and prior to prior to even applying, because you can't apply in and expect to train the week before, right? So just having that mentality and just preparing weeks in advance.
Okay. Now, what are some of the daily responsibilities of a police officer?
Well, it depends on where you work. First of all, for our frontline officers, they are our first responders. They're first on every scene, no matter the scene. Our frontline officers are separated into categories, basically. We have our patrol officers who work on shifts at the Georgetown Police Station, Bordentown Police Station, Kimmerbrook Police Station, all the other police stations. And then we also have our firearms response units who answer to the calls of a more serious nature, so anything to do with weapons, firearms, etc. They would be our first responders to those incidents. But they are essentially the first ones there. They are easily the most important officers in the service, because they're the first ones on the ground and attending to all the calls for service. And for them, it's answering to reports, but also doing a lot of proactive policing to try to prevent crime as well. So they'll be on patrol during their not downtime, but in between reports. In very specific areas that have been targeted by criminal behavior, that kind of thing, just to make sure that a police presence is provided.
Now, the HR department is a very crucial department in the
Absolutely.
RCIPS. And I just want to ask, what are some of the benefits and some of the advantages of working as a police officer within the RCIPS?
Yeah, exactly. Apart from, I suppose, and something maybe we haven't spoke about enough is you can build your tenure as a police constable, but it doesn't stop there. There are opportunities to rise the rank, and you might be able to speak a bit more to like inspector.
Yeah,
levels.
Yeah, so we have several ranks on our ranking system within the police. It starts with our auxiliary constables, then police constables, and then sergeants, inspectors, chief inspectors, superintendents, chief superintendent now, which is a new role that Chief Superintendent Bradley Banks has taken on. And then it's deputy commissioner and the commissioner of police and chief officer for the OCP. So those are our various ranks throughout service.
Okay. And then in addition to that, I suppose we always say to people, look at it holistically, in the sense that you're getting a great pension package, your Synico healthcare, and they are important factors as well. And then I think as well, just to speak to the culture from someone, I've moved from private to public. I was so taken back by how everyone works so closely together. And I think that's what makes the job interesting.
Absolutely.
Like, we're all one big team, one big family. Everyone is working together, and you do get that cross-functional experience. Like myself, I'm always working with marketing, finance. It could be, the superintendents, they're having, they want feedback or advice on how to manage a certain situation. So that's something I definitely wake up and feel a spark in myself when I go to work, is that I suppose, level playing field in terms of the cross-functional partnering with different teams.
Yeah.
Julia, you have to look when you want to say something, you want to add something.
Well, one of the things that we've been working on is also making sure that team keeps connected. So one of the things that we did over the last weekend was a lot of our civilian staff actually came out on the weekend and worked on the front line. Well, not necessarily work. They observed the work on the front line to build a relationship between our civilian staff and our officers, and also to match names to faces to ensure that, we all know each other, and because we do have a really big police service, or we have 400 and...
Even more. It's the total staff complement, that would include the Coast Guard, is about 530 plus.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a really large department, OCP, and it's important for us to make sure that everybody stay connected and stay in tune with each other.
Okay. Vanessa, please feel free to jump in at any time.
Okay.
Anything
Yeah,
you...
and with that number of staff, about 540. I mean, with that comes numerous opportunities for growth. There's promotions that are going on within OCP, so it's amazing to see Caymanians coming in and propelling their career within OCP.
Okay. Now, you have this fair coming up. This career is a career fair, right?
Yes.
Do you normally go into schools and do presentations and stuff
Absolutely.
like that? Okay.
I'm often invited by the National Drug Council whenever they have sessions to go and speak on policing and the importance of making sure that you make good decisions at an early age, as discussed before, because the decisions that you make now may impact your future. Things like that, and discussion about drug use and violent crime in Cayman as well. But aside from that, we are often invited to the career fairs, and me, in my role, try to attend as many as possible and assist HR with organizing for a good number of officers in a wider range to attend as well, so that we are properly represented.
Okay, very good. Tara?
Yeah, no, +1 to everything you've said there.
No, Jodianne, how about some contact information, please, before we let you go?
So, as mentioned before, we are here with HR. Our LinkedIn is up and running. For a number of years, we've been having difficulties trying to get that going, but it's up and running now, so you can visit us on LinkedIn. And we're also on other social media such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But also our website is one to pay particular attention to when it comes to vacancies, and that's rcips.ky, and just visit us regularly there. Aside from vacancies, we have all the forms that you will need to carry out policing business, such as the firearms license, security license, that kind of thing, police reports, etc. And we also send our press releases on our website, so and download the mobile app as well.
I said, bet you Jodianne is going to forget the app.
No, I'll never forget the app. No, make sure that you download the mobile app. It's like a mini website. It's a little bit more convenient than the website itself, but it gives you instant notifications whenever we send out any press releases, road closures, that kind of thing.
I love that,
which is very important. Yeah, because you need to know where not to drive.
Not to drive.
Yes.
Okay, ladies, let me start with you, Jodianne. Anything you want to leave with the listeners this morning?
Well, it's about to be the weekend. The weather was a little rainy last night, so just make sure that you guys stay safe over the weekend. Remember not to drink and drive. Reduce your speed, especially if it's rainy, and increase the distance between the vehicle ahead of you and yourself when the roads are wet.
Tara?
Yeah, so we're just, I suppose, another gentle reminder, next Friday at UCCI, Sir Vassal Johnson Multipurpose Hall. We really would love to see you. If you're on the fence, don't be on the fence. Pop in, and we want it to be fun and interactive from the hours 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And yeah, we'd love to see you and have a further conversation, so please do drop by.
Vanessa? You're still there, right?
Just to reiterate to prospective candidates that applications are no longer emailed or hand delivered. You just keep monitoring the careers portal, which is careers.gov.ky, and want to encourage as much people as possible to come on out to the public safety career fair and learn more about our uniform and civilian roles, and we hope to see everyone there.
All right, well, I want to say thank you, ladies. It's been a pleasure having you in the studio, Jodianne, Tara, and joining us from Cayman Brac, Vanessa, you have my permission. Take the day off and enjoy the sunshine. Hit the beach.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks again, ladies. And thanks to our sponsor this morning, Cayman Insurance Center. Thanks to the producer of the buzz, Miss Susan Watson. And Susan is holding it down as usual this morning. Thanks to our listeners, our viewers. And we'll see you on... when are we going to see you? On Tuesday for another Business Buzz. Please have a wonderful weekend. It's almost weekend. It's Thursday. So the weekend is almost upon us. And we want to say Susan's got some really good music coming up on the breakfast session. So be ready for that. In the meantime, from me, your host, Anita Can, thank you so much. Goodbye.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and